Hello dear students, a very warm good morning to all of you and welcome back in our biology session. So in today's biology session we are going to move for our next lesson from the syllabus. That is, today we are going to move for the lesson number 2, nutrition in animals. Okay. So as we know that in our previous lesson we have discussed about the nutrition in animals, and in that we have discussed about much and more points regarding the plant nutrition. We have discussed about that how the plants are taking their food with the help of the photosynthesis. They are taking their food. Okay, so it is like different things regarding the nutrition of plants we have discussed in our lesson number 1. And in today's session we are going to discuss about the nutrition in animals. Nutrition in animals, in that it means what we are going to discuss about the nutrition in animals, how the animals are taking their food. So in our previous video we have discussed about why the food is necessary for the animals. Also we can say that there are the different ways, with the help of the different ways the animals are taking their food. Okay, so let's move for the next one point from the same lesson. Before we will discuss about the digestion in humans, I want to tell you one amazing fact. I want to share you one amazing fact with you. As we know that there is a starfish. You can see in the image how exactly the starfish. But have you ever wondered how the starfish is taking their food? What is their food? In the which manner they are taking the food? Okay, so I will answer all these questions. The starfish is feeding on the animals, those who are having the shells on their body. And as we know that the shells, like we can say that snail is having the shell on their body. Okay, so that shell is made up of calcium carbonate. Okay, so the starfish is feed on the animals, those who are having the shell and which is made up of calcium carbonate. So when the starfish feeds the food around themselves, then what happens? They pop out their stomach. Their stomach comes out from their body, and in that stomach they can catch the food. Okay, and once the food get inside, again that stomach goes in their body. Okay, so in this way different animals can take the different food in a different manner. Okay, now let's move for our main point, that is we are going to discuss about digestion in humans. So my dear students, every day we are having the different types of the food, other different types of the food material. Within the day, so many different food items we are having. But have you ever wondered what happened exactly to that food item when we take in that food inside our body? Okay, we keep in the mouth. Then what happened to that food? Where it goes? How it gives us energy? So in this discussion, we are trying to find out answers of all these questions. Okay, so once we take the food inside, so many processes are going on. It transfers through the so many different organs of the digestive system. Okay, or I can say that whatever the food we can take in the mouth, it passes through the different canal. Okay, it passes through the different canal which is present in our body. Okay, and this canal is having so many. It is a continuous path, but that continuous path is not having same shape and the size. Somewhere that path or somewhere that canal is very narrow, somewhere that canal is very big, somewhere that canal is very highly coiled, okay, and somewhere it is thick in the nature. So the single track is there, but the shape and the size of the track is not same from starting up till the end position. Okay, so food is passing through these different canal. As like that I can say that the food is passing through the different canals, that different canals are having different parts of the organs. We can say that the organs, like we can say that buccal cavity, then it comes into the stomach, then there is a small intestine, after that there is a large intestine ends in the rectum, and after that there is what? Anus. Okay, so food is passing through these different organs of the digestive system, and is together all the organs are called as alimentary canal. Okay, it is called as what? Alimentary canal. So while when we take the food in the buccal cavity, the slowly food passes through all these different tracts, and at the end the food get digested in the stomach and in the small intestine, and whatever the undigested food is there, that we are throwing out with the help of the anus, that we are going to see deeply in our next upcoming sessions. So see, this is all the parts of the alimentary canal, but along with this alimentary canal, okay, along with these different organs of the alimentary canal, there are the some associate glands. Okay, now glands, these are the part of the body which secreted some chemicals, okay, which secreted some juices. Okay, so in this that what we can say is in this alimentary canal, what happens, there are the some associated glands. For example, we can say that there are salivary glands, then there is what, pancreas and liver. Okay, salivary gland, liver and the pancreas, these are the certain glands which secreted the digestive juices, and the digestive juices helps to digest the food. Okay, so in this way what I can say that, so all these alimentary canal along with the digestive glands, like we can say that salivary gland, liver and pancreas togetherly form the digestive system. Togetherly form what? Digestive system. Okay, this togetherly called as what? Digestive system. So this whole alimentary canal, and along with that alimentary canal associated glands like salivary gland, liver and the pancreas togetherly form one of the important system in the human body, that is nothing but what? Digestive system. Okay, so we are going to see deeply about the digestive system in the human being. So first we are going to discuss about the first part of the digestive system, that is called as what? Mouth or the buccal cavity. Okay, so as we know that digestion process starts from the mouth. Why? Because whatever the food material we are eating, that we are keeping in our mouth, and from there the digestion process starts. Okay, so the intake of the food, that process is called as what? Ingestion. Ingestion means what? The intake of the food in our body. Intake means what? We are taking food inside our body with the help of the mouth, and the taking of the food inside our body. That process is called as what? Ingestion. That process is called as what? Ingestion. In means what? Inside. Okay, that process is called as what? Ingestion. Next one, as the food entered in the mouth, then what happened to that food? As we know that in our mouth there are the teeth. In an adult human being there are the 32 teeth are present. Okay, there are 32 teeth are present in an adult human being. So that teeth are fixed in the gums, and the teeth help us to cut the food and to chew the food. Okay, so in this way the teeth is also responsible for the digestion process, helpful for the digestion process, because they help to cut the food, they help to chew the food. Okay, so as we have seen that in our some previous classes, there are the different types of the teeth are present in our mouth. Okay, so let's discuss quickly about the different types of the teeth which are present in our mouth. So you can see in the image. So in each jaw, as we know, there are the two jaws present in the human being, upper jaw and the lower jaw. In each jaw there are the 16 tooths are present. Okay, 16 tooths are present and totally 32 teeth. Okay, so in upper jaw and in the lower jaw there are the 16 teeth are present, and the type of the teeth which are present in upper and the lower jaw are same. Okay, so see here in the image what we can say, the first 4 teeth from upper and the lower jaw, it is called as what? Incisors. Okay, so the first 4 teeth are called as incisors. This incisor helps to cut the food, that's why it is called as what? Cutting teeth. Okay, next one is there, after the incisor, on the both the side of the incisor there is one pointed teeth, and that pointed teeth are called as what? Canines. Okay, that pointed teeth are called as canines. That canine helps to tear the food, that's why they are called as what? Tearing teeth. After the canines, on each the side of the canines there are presence of, on either side of the canines there are the presence of the broad and flat teeth. Okay, broad and the flat teeth. On either side of the canines there are the two presence of two broad and flat teeth, and that teeth are called as what? Premolar. And this premolars helps to crack the food. That's why they are called as what? Cracking teeth. Next one is there, that is at the end of the jaw you can see the three teeth to the both the side of the jaw. They are called as what? Molars. Okay, and that molar helps to grind the food. That is the reason the molars are called as what? Grinding teeth. Okay, so in this way these are the different types of the teeth present in our human body, are present in the human's jaw. Like that same the lower jaw, upper jaw is also having the same types of the teeth. And very important, the last two molars are called as wisdom tooth. Okay, it comes after the some age. Okay, after we can say at the teenage mostly it comes out and it is called as what? Wisdom tooth. Okay, so this is all about the types of teeth which are present in the human body. Okay, now we will discuss again. We will move for the next one process, that is what? Ingestion. So just now I said that it will keep the food in our mouth, and that process is called as what? Ingestion process. But as the food comes in our mouth, as we know our mouth continuously secreted one juice, and that juice is secreted by one of the gland which is called as what? Salivary gland. So which juice is secreted by the salivary gland? That is what? Saliva. Okay, so as the food we are taking inside our mouth, it started to get mixed into the saliva which is secreted by the salivary gland. And once the food we are having that get mixed into the saliva, it means whatever the food material it contains the starch. Okay, so that starch get mixed into the saliva and then it get converts into the sugar. Okay, then it get converts into the sugar. Okay, so what I said that whatever the food material we are having, it contains the starch, then that starch get mixed into the saliva, they get reacts, then it converts the starch into the sugar. Okay, so to prove this with the help of an experiment, we are having one experiment, so let's have a look for that experiment. Okay, so let's start our experiment. What is the aim of our experiment? The aim of our experiment is to prove that saliva break down the starch. For that process, what we require for this experiment, we require some amount of water, we require iodine solution, and here I have taken two test tubes, that is test tube A and B. In the test tube A, I have taken boiled rice, okay, and in test tube B, I have taken boiled and chewed rice. After that, in the both the test tube, I have added some amount of the water, or I can say that 3 to 4 ml of water I added in both the test tube. Pick out test tube A. In this test tube A, now I will add some amount of the iodine solution. Okay, and I will shake it. So see what is the color, or what you can see that white rice get changed into blue black color. Okay, so here you can see the change in the color. Okay, so it is the confirmatory test. When the iodine come in the contact of the starch, then it shows the blue black coloration. So what we can say that this boiled rice contain the starch. Okay, but now in this test tube B, I have taken the chewed and the boiled rice. Okay, now see the color of it. It is also white in color. Now in this I will add the 2 drops of the iodine solution. Okay, so see in the beginning it will also get converted into the blue black color, but after some time this blue black color will get disappear and will get the white color liquid, or we can see the test tube is white in color. Okay, so see in the beginning it is showing the presence of starch, but after some time it will get changed into the colorless substance. Okay, so we'll wait for the some time. Okay, so see after some time what we can see, whatever the substance that we have seen before blue black in color, now slowly it is getting converted into colorless. Okay, so this is what the test with the help of this experiment, what we have proved that saliva breaks down the starch into the sugar. Okay, so because of the saliva, whatever the starch is present in this chewed rice, it breaks into the sugar, and the sugar cannot give the coloration
blue black in the presence of iodine. Okay, or we can say that what saliva breaks down the starch. So now there is no presence of the starch in this test tube. That's why the iodine solution is not showing the blue black color. Okay, so in this way today with the help of this experiment we have proved that that saliva breaks down the starch into the sugar. Thank you.
Okay, so just now you are seeing that with the help of the experiment we have proved that what happens, starch get converts into the saliva or the starch get breaks down into the sugar. Okay, with the help of the saliva or saliva breaks down the starch into sugar. So my dear student, now the next one thing is that in our buccal cavity there are the teeth. Different types of the teeth we have discussed. After that we have seen that in our buccal cavity also there is one muscular sheath, or we can say the muscular organ is present, and the name of that muscular organ is nothing but what? Tongue. So let's discuss about the tongue. So as we know, in the buccal cavity we can see the teeth and also we can see the tongue. So the tongue is the muscular organ which is attached from the back side or to the floor of the buccal cavity. Okay, so it gets fixed from the back side where it gets fixed into the buccal cavity, but from the front side it is free, it can move in any direction. Okay, so what do you think, what is the use of the tongue? Yes, obviously the tongue helps to mix the food into the saliva. It helps to makes the food soft in the presence of the saliva, and also it helps to swallow the food, or it also helps to chew the food properly. So this is one of the most important function of the tongue, but along with these function, the tongue also help us to come to know what is the exactly taste of the different food that we are having. Okay, so with the help of the tongue we can come to know the taste about the different food stuff. But how we can come to know about the taste of the different food? Like that we can say if you are having the gulab jam, then we can say wow, it is a sweet in the taste. If you will eat any spicy thing, then we are saying it is spicy. Or if you eat the bitter gourd, then you can say it is a bitter in taste. Why you come to know all about these different tastes? Because of the tongue, and how on the tongue there are the different taste buds. Okay, on the tongue or on the surface of the tongue, on the different side or on the different position, there are the different types of the taste bud which tell us, which gives us the information about the different taste. Okay, so here you can see at the center of the back of the tongue there is a bitter, then the sour taste we can come to know from this taste bud, then there is the salty taste we can come to know about this taste bud, and at the tip of the tongue we can come to know about the sweet taste. Okay, so these are the different tastes that we can come to know with the help of the different taste bud which are present on the tongue. Okay, so here we have discussed about the buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity, as we have discussed about that there are the presence of the teeth and the tongue. About the teeth, already we have discussed about the different kinds of the teeth. But one more thing is remain to tell you that there are the two types of there are the two sets of the teeth. As you know that whenever the child get born, they come without teeth. His newborn is not having the teeth. As they grown up, at the age of the 6, they are having the some teeth. Okay, and that teeth are called as milk teeth. That teeth are called as what? Milk teeth. There are the 20 milk teeth are present in the mouth of the child. But as the age get grown up, it comes okay at the age of the 6. Slowly what happened? These milk teeth started to get fall down. Okay, slowly these milk teeth started to get fall down one by one. The tooth started to get fall, and on the presence or on the place of that milk teeth, new teeth comes out from the gum, and then that teeth or then that set of the teeth are called as what? Permanent teeth. Okay, then that set of the teeth are called as permanent teeth. Okay, so newborn is not having teeth. As it gets grown up, slowly the teeth comes out, and at the age of the 6, one by one the tooth started to get fall down. So that group of the teeth which are comes before the age of the 6, that teeth are called as milk teeth. That milk teeth started to get fall down, but on their place, on that same place, new teeth arises and then it forms the one set of the teeth. Then that set of the teeth are called as what? Permanent teeth. And very important, if the permanent teeth get fall, then there is no possibility to come out the next teeth. Okay, means if the any permanent tooth fall down, then new teeth are not coming on that same place. Okay, so these are the two sets of the teeth, milk teeth and permanent teeth, and permanent teeth are 32 in number. Okay, next one. In this way, the teeth are very important for us for the process of digestion. So we should take care of the teeth. So every day so many things we are having, and sometimes what happen, whatever the food materials we are having, that contains the different types of the nutrients. Okay, so some bacteria are living inside our body and they are helpful for us. Okay, but sometimes what happens, the food material whatever we are having, that contains the sugar. Okay, and then on that sugar, some bacteria which are present in our mouth started to get feed on that sugar, and they started to produce one acid. Okay, so the bacteria which are present in our mouth, it started to react with the leftover sugar which are present in our teeth, and then it forms one acid, and this acid started to affect our teeth, and then this acid started to affect our teeth, then it forms the tooth decay or it forms the tooth cavity. Okay, so in this way what happened, because of this acid the tooth started to get affected, and slowly it forms the holes in the tooth which we are calling as what? Cavity or the tooth decay. So sometimes it is more severe also, because of the tooth decay we have to lose our teeth also. Okay, so if you want to take care of our teeth, then you should brush your teeth twice a day, once in the morning, once before going to the bed. If you want to take care of your teeth, then you should avoid the soft drink, sugar containing food material, so much sticky chocolates. Okay, so you should avoid all these food material, cakes, pastries. Okay, why? Because these are the main culprit which are responsible for the tooth decay. Okay, and also very important, you should clean our teeth twice a day, and also you can use the floss. Floss means what? These are the special threads that we can use for the cleaning of the teeth. Also twice in a year you have to visit your dentist. Okay, so by doing all these manner you can take care of your teeth. Okay, so this is all about today. Today we will stop here. We will meet in the next video with the next concept, and for today, thank you.